Hey, what's up guys, Diplexheated here again. Welcome back to Men of War Assault Squad 2 and Born in the Fire America mod. In the previous video, we witnessed the Battle of Bunker Hill, which was quite an amazing battle, very disastrous for both sides, but mainly the British who were attacking the American revolutionaries holding the hill. Today, it's the year of 1983, several years after the Battle of Bunker Hill. This is actually the last year of the American Revolutionary War, and we have gone quite far down south. We're in Florida, attacking a British fort close to the West Indies, of course. In 1778, the Americans signed a treaty of friendship with the French that brought the French into the war and started the Anglo-French War, which wasn't only fought in North America, but also in the West Indies and India and other places and continents of the world where the British Empire was in close, contest with the French, so to speak. In 1779, I believe the Spanish also joined, so overall the British Empire was very strained and stressed out when it came to resource management and diverting their power. So in many ways, the French and Spanish and other contesting nations took advantage of the American Revolutionary War by aiding them in their conflict against the British, by also being able to take advantage of the British stressed out situation in other fronts of the world, so to speak. So here we are in 1783, the last year of the war. We have pretty much taken over the entire North American East Coast, but we are still wrapping up some British remains here in North America. In many ways, this is kind of a fictional battle. I'm not sure there were many battles between the Continental Army and the British Empire in Florida, seeing as it was hardly colonized at the time, or it was very limited in many ways like that. But this is indeed a Floridian fort close to the West Indies. There were a lot of conflicts between the French and Spanish and British in the West Indies, of course, considering all the trade and whatnot. So here we are, final year, and this could be the last standing fortress in North America here that's being held by the British. Continental Marines being brought up, which is really Continental Infantry, but since they're being carried from ship to shore, might as well call them Marines. We have some Minutemen who held the front line first, and some artillery guns brought up here to support the assault itself. Very cool indeed. This battle has been made by me, not the map, but the battle is entirely made by me. The map is indeed called Florida Fort, so why the hell not? Very cool indeed. We have the British Line Infantry holding out a trench here. We have some on the wall trying to get some shots in. The British Union Jack being proudly waved and standing tall there on the fortress walls. We'll see how long it can stand so proudly. British artillery battery here. Lots of targets on the beach. Pick one and fire. I think they're having a slightly hard time choosing what to fire at, but as the Continental Infantry gets ever closer, I think it's going to be more important to just fire your shots. There we go. Still some of the British riflemen up here, currently active. Holding it down quite nicely. Oh, damn. So much fire as the Continental Marines starting to clear out the trenches and form some sort of battle line as they try and battle their way closer to the fort itself. Look at that. This is so cool. Look at that volley. That is awesome. Oh, men being shot down. Oh, close one. Officer leading the charge there at the front, as you can tell. I think he was just hit in the gut. He bent over a while. Oh! Soldier right next to him shot down. These are like 76 caliber bullets. .76, so that's a larger caliber than a 50 caliber one. Oh man, he was shot back down there. Oh! Trying to call for help as he's bleeding out rather quickly. These men are still holding it down here. I'm wondering if they're suppressed or if they're just waiting for the perfect moment to peek up and fire a quick salvo and bring down some invading Continental soldiers here. Oh! Boom! That was it. They're not going to sit and wait by any longer as their friend was shot down. Another wave of Continental Infantry has been landed. The Minutemen are actually holding the beachhead itself down here. Well, the beachhead would be up there, potentially, but they're actually sort of just holding the the staging area of the Continental Army. In case of a British counterattack, they're going to be holding it down here. I love being able to throw so many soldiers at a battle and still kind of not keep it overly mortal, considering the accuracy and rate of fire of these muskets, which means that you can create a large-scale battle without it ending instantly because of the sheer deadliness of the firepower, which is something you're going to struggle to do in a World War II scenario. Still have a rifleman here laying it down. I think he's waiting to spot out an officer or some high-value target. We'll see what he goes for. Look at that view. That's quite stunning, actually. Oh, he's got a comrade to his left there. Seems like both missed, so they'll have to reload. A few more riflemen alive back here. Bayonets will be used. The Continental infantry here have their bayonets fixed, which they'll probably take advantage of in such a situation. There will be some close quarter fighting inside the fortress. I think I can promise you that, for those of you who are eager to see that. So that'll be quite cool. But right now, it's going to be ranged fire and combat. Oh, nice battery fire there from the artillery section outside the fortress walls. Flag carrier has been shot down. Nope, that cannot stand. We're going to make sure that the flag is picked up afterwards and kept high here over the walls. No, don't get shot again. Hold it high right there. There you go. Present the color. That's awesome. U.S. artillery now starting to hit the fortress walls. More Continental infantry is brought up. Look at that. Epic battle. I believe the guns are reloading, but I think they're going to fire away rather shortly. British artillery still active. There we go. Nice. Hitting the walls now. Reload! Make ready to fire! Look at this. Getting really close and nasty over here. British line still holding it down here in the trench. And the British artillery is still shelling the beach. Look at that guy. What's he doing? This guy's charging the trench. Oh, bayonet action. Oh, he was shot down. Another man killed there as he fell down over the trench. Quick volley over the trench itself as more Continental infantry is charging ever closer. Look at that bit. They're being shot down. It's so bloody epic. We have an officer here willing to make his men inspired. Is he trying to arrest one of the British soldiers? He's like pointing the gun at his shoulder. I think this trench is... Oh! That guy was kicked down. Oh! Nice. Hope you guys witnessed that. Shot his friend, but the other guy kicked the other man in the head. Killed him, I guess, with a fairly fatal head kick. And then shot his other British comrade to the left there. So that was quite cool. Wonder what your name is, soldier. But you'll be well remembered. We have some Continental soldiers making it up to the wall now. That guy was shot in the head. Damn. Some are trying to kind of crawl ever closer. This battery needs to be dealt with because they are dealing damage right now. Continental battery firing at the British positions down from the beach as well. So it's one hell of an all-out fort siege here in 1783. Let me repeat, the last year of the American Revolutionary War. The end of this war also ended the end of the Anglo-French War with the Treaty of Versailles. So yeah. Oh man, shot down. Bayonets! Oh, nice. Stabbed them right in the gut. British flag carrier standing proud. Nowhere to really run. And he did not run. He holds. Continental infantry's storming the fortress right now. British artillery still raining down hell. If they can hit, that is. The terrain is a little difficult to maneuver, or to navigate rather. They don't need to navigate much, but the cannonballs do. Oh, flag carrier down. Artillery starting to be shot down as well now. This officer's moving up close. Cannon being hit. How's the storming of the fort looking? Bayonets! Look at that. Oh, quickly getting cover. The wall is still very much occupied. Continental infantry charging around here. Fire! Artillery battery has finally been knocked out. British soldiers still holding it down, though. We have a whole section up here on this side. Well, 4 men. Not sure what you want to define as a whole section, but it is a section of soldiers. Look at them getting close here. It's going to be a bayonet charge moment here. Melee ensures, but some men are shot close by musket fire. Oh, it's just overall quite hellish for the British defenders. But it looks like the American infantry is starting to kind of capture the fort now after taking some severe losses. Some meleeing is done to mop up the remains. The fort has been secured. Continental infantry is moving further inlands to make it to the next camp. This battle needs to just continue rapidly. Look at them going off in a line. Forwards! Hundreds and hundreds. It's an ambush! British infantry! Look at that! 2 companies of British line infantry ambushing the American infantry as they cross out of the fort into the open. Damn! So they're forming some battle lines right now on both sides to try and counter the British threat. This is rather disastrous if you ask me. We still have some Continental infantry that can make it into the fort now to hold. They're going to be occupying the walls. But there is so much British infantry on the outside here. The Americans are getting slaughtered in the open as they're being shot at from both sides. Obviously, the Brits are taking quite a lot of fire as well, but look at them. Keep firing! Battalion! Fire at will! Boom. It's turned into an all-out open combat here in the open. The Brits on this side are starting to be a little bit pushed back. Could be because of the severe amount of Continental infantry on this side. They've really gone around the fort, and some have really taken up cover here on the top wall to rain down some fire. Very cool indeed. Quite nice. How's it looking for the Brits on this side, though? Quite in a pretty good state, I'd say. So about 150 British soldiers attacked from both sides. So that's a rather disastrous attack for the Americans in the middle. It'll be interesting later on to see how many casualties they took. But that was a genius ambush. But it looks like they're being pushed back on this side. It was a really good try and effort, but fort is being used as a bit of a battle station to counter the British assault. We have some troops out here trying to take the high ground. So the Brits are really holding it down right now. Holding their position. I think it'll be in their favor to hold it down here to try and battle back the American attackers. They should have the numerical superiority, depending on how many casualties they've taken so far. But the British soldiers on this side was completely fought back by the counterattack. And the Minutemen from the beach now have been moved up to capture and secure the fort and to assist the remaining Continental soldiers in battling back the British threat. Look at how many soldiers there are on this side. Remember, this is the very end of the war. The British are fighting multiple nations on multiple fronts. Look at this flag carrier just standing proud here. That's very nice. Take the fort. Let's send him up and hold him right here, waving at the enemy. The fort is ours. Hooray! Look at that. Cool. And now we're just battling back some of the remaining British soldiers outside. Still putting up quite a resistance. Let's take a look at casualties so far, as the American infantry is going to be wrapping up the remaining deaths, so to speak. We'll leave the British casualties in yellow and the American, in red, and the American casualties in yellow. And there's a fair amount dead on this side right now, but look at the center here. Oh, how many Americans were brought down. A lot of the British retreated, I do want to guarantee you that. So not all too many casualties were taken here. And on the beach, oh, disastrous indeed. It was kind of like a British Bunker Hill in a way, where the Americans were the ones attacking, taking lots of casualties. And the British finally having to kind of retreat, being overwhelmed or defeated by the American power, so to speak. Very cool indeed. If you guys want to see more Born in the Fire America videos, let me know and I will provide. I love making these and even battles. So, yeah. So fun with muskets and artillery and all that stuff. It's just really freaking cool. Got some more Minutemen moving up here on this right side, trying to battle down some of the Brits who are now obviously retreating. They kind of have retreated, so the American soldiers are going to continue their struggle inlands. There's a nearby colonial village that they're going to, I guess, occupy and make sure that the Brits are brought down. I guess any loyalist village would be treated kind of poorly, despite the fact that they're trying to convert the populace to the revolution, or the fact that it's so-called a people's revolution of all the inhabitants. There were obviously still a lot of loyalists around, so if there was a village who wasn't really keen on that side, then they would probably be burnt down or something. Who knows? There are bad sides, or bad people on both sides of any conflict. Do remember that. Not everyone's a hero just because you're a rebel. But anyway, look at that. Look, they're just wrapping up the remnants now, marching around. I love the animation when they have the rifle over there, or the musket over their shoulder. So cool. Awesome stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed. We can probably wrap up the American Revolutionary War now, but I want to do more. I want to do a second Battle of Bunker Hill, where the Americans actually attack afterwards, which would be sometime during perhaps the early 1780s or late 1770s, who knows. But it depends on the strength of the American presence in the Boston area at the time. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys soon again. Ciao.